Welcome everybody to another week of This Week in Showdown. So, I think the big baseball news has to be Justin Verlander officially announcing that he's not going to be pitching after this season. Wouldn't you say, Yawggy?
Yeah, probably a year or two hanging on longer, but I think when you're that good, it's hard to hang it up.
Yeah, it's so in boxing, the sign is always like when they have to switch managers late in the career, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was some conversation that was like, "Hey, you're going to get hurt if you go out there."
Yeah.
You know, somebody should have told Verlander, this. You can look at this card. I mean, this wasn't a horrible year last year. 3.85 ERA. Plenty of people. That's as good of a year as they're going to have. But this is probably going to be his last showdown card. I don't think he's going to rack up enough innings unless there's some weird pennant run thing that somebody would want. But has he even pitched like 20 innings this year?
Yeah, it's been almost nothing. Yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, great career. Any great Verlander memories from you?
Wasn't he nothing baseball? He's had a spectacular year in our career, and some postseason stuff. But I remember there was a commercial he was in, I think, promoting a video game, and it was all people going into like the perfect game club. And I think he was excluded from it because he only had pitched a no-hitter. He hadn't done a perfect game. So I think Kate Upton was like the people letting the people into the perfect game room, and she had to keep him out of it. So it was look it up on YouTube. I'm sure you can find it. So
I think there is some epic Kate Upton Cy Young tweet out there.
Yeah.
I think the night they met, wasn't that on camera? Didn't he like toss her a ball?
I think so. Yeah.
And she looked very smitten.
That sounds familiar. That
familiar. Was. I remember that being lovely. The Mike Napoli ALCS home run. I mean, I don't know that we were ever going to score a run in that game. And the Tigers were probably a better team than my Red Sox. I really enjoyed that team, but they had studs, and Verlander was one of them, and Napoli just ran into one. So
yeah,
yeah.
Napoli had a knack for just running into things. I know he enjoyed his time when he was with the Rangers too. So.
Oh yeah, he. And it looked like he got him when he got him. He didn't have like those like elegant backspin line drives. Like it looked like he got every bit of his body into it. So, all right. So we're going into the All-Star game. This is we're recording Sunday. It's the last games before the All-Star game just wrapped up. Any All-Star game thoughts?
I usually don't pay too much attention to the game. I was into it a lot more when I was younger. Was really big into the home run derby when I was really young. I think, what was it, the year McGuire, they were in Fenway, and the height of the steroid era, and McGuire launched like 40 of them over the wall. It kind of got old after that point. I kind of stopped paying attention.
Yeah,
it's the home run derby after that.
So that year, I was actually vacationing in Maine, but I lived full time in Massachusetts, right? So, I was vacationing in Maine with other people from Massachusetts, and there were people who left Point Sebago, Maine, shout out there, the camp there, and went back for the All-Star game, and they talk about that McGuire, they did the home run derby. I think they did the home run derby, and they came back, and they talked about it like it was a religious experience.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of soured by everything afterwards, and, it's an exhibition, and it's kind of cool, but it's kind of back to the point where it's kind of a 60 to 75% effort for a lot of the players, and it's baseball-like.
It's also weird that it's mid-season, so like some of the people who will make it will just fall off, and it'll be like that guy was a
right. For me, I like the idea of the All-Star game being the All-Star game. Like, it's not, for me, it being the best players of the first half of the season has always been weird. And I know that's a matter of debate too, because like you said, you'll just have people that have awesome first halves, or even last year have a great 1 week, get elected to the All-Star game, and then fall off the earth. So
yeah, I don't have any solution, because obviously you couldn't wait till like before the World, do it before the World Series or anything, because people are, some teams would be long gone, right? Like,
yep.
So there's no, I have no solution to it. I think it's a young man's game. I think no matter what age you ask somebody, you could almost like date them. It's like, what's the last All-Star game you cared about? And you could like,
probably.
Like, okay, you were 12 then. Like, whatever year you said, you were 12 years old or whatever.
Yeah. It's an exhibition, and it's kind of it's nice to have that. Kind of you can hang your hat on that. This person was an X-time All-Star. That's kind of cool. It still means something. I think more so than a lot of the other pro sports. Their All-Star games are. I think baseball still has the most meaning of them all.
Yeah, it's funny because it's probably the most like realistic simulation of a baseball game, which is what we appreciate around here is a realistic simulation of a baseball game.
Yeah.
But then it's also again like we said well we're only halfway through the year, so somebody's gonna blow up here and it's gonna be like you were an all-star, you had a 4.5 ERA.
Right. Yep.
Yep. We do owe some congratulations to our friends Matt, Matt and everyone over there at the ShowdownBot. They just made their 2 millionth card.
Nice.
This is not mine. It was this Christy Mathewson. So someone out there made this out there in Showdown Land. Wasn't me. And they also put up an all-star game texture. So I think for a lot of the years they have specific all-star game frames and all that. This one has the Philly looks like a Declaration of Independence maybe and some bricks. So very very good work going down to the ShowdownBot. How many cards, if you had to guess, do you think you've made?
That I've made. I haven't done a whole lot of the 2 million. No, like I said, you're definitely a lot more into the card making than I've just played around with it just to do some things. So I'm probably less than a couple hundred. Yeah.
I was trying to scratch math it, and I'm gonna guess I'm between 10,000 and 20,000.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm curious how much I did because I had found it and then went away from it. So I'm I don't really have a good guesstimate there. But making when making a 600 card set, it's I probably make every card at least 3 or 4 times. And then you make a card and you're trying to find the right chart, on base and chart. So it's every time you make someone, you're almost making 2. So I'm gonna guess I'm between 10 and 20,000. But if Matt, if you have my numbers in there and you want to give me a real one, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and to that point, if you haven't gone on the ShowdownBot in a while, speaking to the audience here, is go on. There's been some cool updates in the last couple months. You can have a user account now, and that has a lot of cool different features. You can track things on there. So continually updating that. Matt is, and big shout out to him and all the work that goes into that. It's no small feat.
Yeah, the user account is great, especially if you're trying to get a specific chart. If you're using date ranges to get a specific chart, and then it doesn't save right, or you come back to it a day later, it's where was that? Awesome feature.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Big kudos.
All right. People working on their chart. Oh, so it was Tristan Peters hitting for the cycle.
Yeah.
Got his memorable moment here. So I'm trying to figure out how many memorable moments I want to put in the 2026 set. And I'm trying to figure out what's the threshold? What's the accomplishment that is the lowest one that should make it in? Kind of by default. So let's start easy. Do you think if you hit for the cycle, assuming you don't hit some crazy walk off in the playoffs, that should count as your memorable? You should get a memorable moment over a generic card.
Yeah, I think cycles are rare enough. I mean, how many do we have in a year?
So these 3 have hit for the cycle this year.
Yeah, so you're talking about we're more than halfway through. We've got 3, so we're gonna have 5 or 6 in the year, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that there's a year where there've been 15 cycles.
Right. Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah, I think that's a good one to think of.
Yeah. So no hitter, yes. Right. 4 home run game, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, perfect game's just a better no hitter. Okay, Ryan O'Hearn, 3 home run game.
That's for me. That's on the cusp of. Yeah, again, is that more rare than a cycle? How many times is that happening in a year? I mean, if we're in the 5 or less, then I'd say for me that's probably on the cusp of. Yeah. Possibly, I don't know. Yeah, but if it's I don't know. For me, a 3 home run game, it could be 2. Is it a 20-0 game? where you're hitting 3 of your home runs off, 2 of your home runs off of pitchers or position players or what's going on there? Yeah.
All right. So we did the Wilson Contreras and Cade Cavalli. Okay, fight where they touch. Yes. The 2
fight where they touch.
Yeah. fight where the 2 people make contact with each other.
Rougned Odor and Jose Bautista. That's a memorable moment. But if you just stare at each other, no.
Robin Ventura, Nolan Ryan, Kyle Farnsworth spearing somebody. I forget.
Yeah, I think even a mound. It's got to be a mound charging. There's a brawl, not just even pushing and shoving. Even then, it's just kind of that's not memorable.
So Blaze Alexander took one off the hand, and it turned into a shouting match, which was super awkward because both bullpens exit through the same door.
Right.
So there was like a Canadian standoff at some point between the relievers of like one person from every other team going.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, I really doubt that these guys are going to get into it.
Yeah.
Also, the bullpens, like, they may have been in a different state, right? Like, they may have been in Missouri. Like, the bullpen people are far enough away. But that doesn't... So shouting and the bench is clearing, that's not enough to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the Contreras one's on the line, right? Where because they're like... Because it looked like it was trying to get, like, they were trying to, like...
Yeah, but that's like the hold me back, and then they don't, and he still was like, hold me back. Like, there's a lot of just posturing, I think. More than anything.
Yeah, I think there was like a hip toss by two guys on the outside who had nothing to do with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have, for my 04 set, Tanyan Sturts has, like, when he comes up from the Don Zimmer fight, where he got jumped by... Also, if you Google search Tanyan Sturts fight, you actually get more than one result. So,
there you go.
But yeah, so it's like, yeah, I don't think I put Pedro getting Zimmer in there.
Pedro
right?
Zimmer. Yeah.
I don't know if I want elder abuse documented. All right, so we'll brainstorm as they come up and be like, what's the accomplishment that just kind of like auto locks you in? I think like playoff walk-off isn't like necessarily like locks you in all the time.
Right. I mean, if it's
past year was crazy.
Yeah, I guess it depends. Yeah, I mean,
like the Freeman one in the 18th, right? I think maybe it's just because like it was just a year where there was just such a trump card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, okay, that like, you get a walk off in the World Series in the 18th inning. That probably doesn't happen every year.
No, not at all.
Yep. Send us your thoughts if there's a moment that we missed here. I think this year I got the cycles. I got the combined no hitter.
Joe Adell.
We got Joe Adell.
Either one of Joe Adell's. There you go. Both
yeah. Maybe there's a collage of Joe Adell, like his 3 robberies in the Canseco homer.
Yeah.
If there's anything we missed there, that's like, hey, this is like, send the photo too, because I think that's like, if you recognize the photo right away, like last year the Andy Pages catch was actually like, I think the most memorable moment of the year for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the best visual. So awesome. All right, just regular old guys hitting the ball. Kind of a slow week.
Yeah, a couple with 5 home runs, but yeah, there's not that list. The 5 extra base hits is not as long as it's been. That's taken up a good bit of the screen the last few weeks.
Yeah, and I was trying to see. I was like, oh, were there like more like off days, like going into the All-Star game? Like, not really.
Yeah,
Plenty of people played 6 and 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
Strategically, kind of nice that like the 2 5s are guys who like are very good for the set for them to have it, right? Like 2 guys, like the upper middle class did really well this week.
Yes, yeah. James Woods continues to be on fire. Shohei's getting some more power numbers in there. So Ben Rice continues to mash.
So yeah, so James Wood just keeps showing up, and I was like, oh, like is he gonna get that Matt Holliday like 10, 19 to 20, 16 to 18 double? And now I'm kind of like resetting my sight. Like, does he get the Larry Walker 10, 17 to 20? Like, is he gonna get to the 45 now?
Right, and at his position, yeah, that could be a huge card.
Yeah, and then like, because like when you get there, now all of a sudden you have to make the really tough decision on his speed, right? Because he's probably on the 17-18 cusp.
Mm-hmm. So like a slow A.
Yeah, does he get the slow A? Does he get the fast B? Like, yeah, I was kind of curious, like, I was kind of like projecting him out. Not that I'm great with these projections, but it's like, oh, like I could see him being like Matt Holliday. But like the last couple weeks, like, could he be like Larry Walker, which I think is just a tick up in power, right? Like more homers than doubles.
Yeah, because this is pure stolen base. I mean, he's a chance to get to 30 stolen bases.
Yeah, he could. I mean, I'm gonna guess
he's at 15 right now. He's at 15 right now, so yeah.
Yeah, he could get there. The other guy who's like super interesting card, like, the right guy getting the right numbers, like Chandler Simpson is not going to get to 45 home runs in his maybe in his career,
right?
But he hits a ton of triples here, right? Like, so having that like over 20 speed A, and then like getting all the extra base hits. Super interesting idea there.
Yeah. What's the most you've seen in a triple? Like how many? Like, I mean, I've seen like two numbers there, like a 17-18 or something. But has there ever been like a 17 through 20 triple?
All right, story time. Some of my OGs are gonna appreciate this from my old like custom sets. There was a year that Reyes had like 20 plus triples,
Wow,
and he was
okay.
a 10 on base. And so like the way and like it like in hindsight, I think I would have just like you would weight it so that like if you have 4 triples, that if you're not using them for homers, like that should probably get you one triple on your chart.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, so it's like he had 20, so he ended up being like a 10, 16 to 20, but he didn't have a homer, so his points were like, he was like 450 with like over 20, he was like a speed 22 or something for 450. So you had like basically a speed A McGuire for 450 points at a premium position in shortstop.
Jeez. So it just went into homers instead of dumping it all into triples?
Well, no, they end up as triples, but like
Okay.
if you think of a triple, like depends on how you view a triple versus a homer,
Right, okay.
right? Like, you know,
For Showdown, they're almost indistinguishable. You'll get that run in. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's like the one card, but all that to say, like, is like when people get to those like large numbers, like there's like some Jimmy Rollins cards that are that way. When you hit a lot of triples, it really is like the first triple comes kind of early at like the 4. I would think like between 3 and 4, depending on what your on base is. Definitely at 5. If you have 5 triples, you should have a triple on your card. Really, no matter what you do,
Okay.
like at least one. And then it's like the gap to get the next one like should get further and further.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas like for the homers, it's basically if you're a 10, it's basically for me it's like at 15 you get a homer. The bot's a little bit more generous than I am if I were to be making them completely by hand. And then basically every 10 after 15 is another homer on your chart.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the triples I think you need to like stretch it out because I think one triple, like the difference between 1, 2, and 3 triples is pretty large.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'd have to be as often as those would get rolled.
Yep. And we are going on this tangent because nobody's doing anything. Our buddy Chase DeLauder, welcome back.
Yeah.
Eugenio Suarez, it's been over a year. Welcome back.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of folks are on here basically from a single game, like Ryan O'Hearn, 1 game.
Yep.
Tristan Peters down there at the bottom, 1 game.
Yeah, the Mets fans are really feeling it that Soto hasn't been on here a whole lot this year. So
I thought he might come alive during my Red Sox series here.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll get into our teams here in a bit because I think there's a good launching off point. A lot more guys with nobody hitting. Guys are pitching a good bit more.
Yeah, a lot of innings here, so getting fully stretched out at this point and making those playoff pushes.
Yeah, and Cease had like a perfect game going into the 8th. I had that up.
Mm-hmm.
I messaged you during the Logan Webb. He like blew up during the first inning of his game. That's one that jumps out to me. First inning he gives up a grand slam, and I messaged you. I was like, yeah, I looked real smart last week talking about giving him the honorary 7, and then doing Logan Webb things. He turns it around and gets himself to 7 innings pitched.
Yep. Yeah. He'll be there. I mean, that's pretty much he'll get there.
Yeah, he'll get at least close enough that people won't have too much of an issue if he gets rounded up.
Yep. Sandy will be there. It looks like at this point.
Yeah. Also, why not Sandy? Why not have Sandy? Yeah. Well, so he's good. The real thing I'm trying to eye now is like who's going to get to that 200 innings, get that 7 innings pitch. Who's not in the top 10 in ERA?
Yeah.
Because it was Crochet and Sanchez last year did get the top 10 in ERA, so they got those custom charts, and then Webb didn't. And so, like, that kind of turns into, like, an honorary custom, right? Webb's, like, the honorary 11th, like, top-tier pitcher in the 2025 set.
Right, yeah.
So, all right. Anybody else here you want to highlight?
No, I mean, there's some common names on here. We can see in Gavin Williams. It's good to see him, doing good things. Hunter Green. I mean, his career has just been like this. 17 is nothing. Let me throw a shoulder out and then be gone for a little while. And,
Yeah, sadly, Jake Bennett for the Red Sox, probably just a flash. Probably not even going to get a card, right? Like he's just not going to get the innings pitched with what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, Garrett Crochet probably isn't getting a card on that Red Sox team, so
Yeah.
so great to see it. Probably going to end up in a pennant run if he shows up at all.
Yeah.
So awesome. So we are nearing the end, and we're gonna deep dive into our 12-team league, going to the pitchers. But it's like, hey, like we're getting to the end here. You and I were kind of brainstorming. You know, what if we want to do a draft? We got to kind of get that going now, so there's not all this like dead time between them. And then we're like, hey, what if we did a 6-team divisional league? So we'd have six managers. All of them would be limited to a single division. The AL West would get the Astros for the old set. And what we would use is the 2000 batters, the 01 pitchers, and then my full 24 and 25 set. So you're getting 15 full teams worth to use to make a constructed team. You know, so if I got the AL East, I'm not competing with anyone. I'm just going to sit down and tinker with it as opposed to dealing with the draft. But I get to put my whole team together. And then what we decided, you know, to make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit different, is let's do the 24-player league or team. We'll do 24 players, 6,000 points, five-man rotation. When I first proposed this to you, what was your thought?
I thought it was cool and interesting. I sent you back some questions as far as clarifying, like, okay, what can we do with making use of the 24 players and everything else. So we have some more of the details there as far as what the lineup construction would look like. But yeah, it's something different, something cool. I haven't done anything like this before, so I think it'd be really cool to sit down and just, like you said, this. I think you made the comment in our chat where it's for tinkerers. You can go in there and see, okay, what if I change this out? What if I use these points here instead? And, especially with the mix of the 2000, 2001 stuff to the 24 and 25 sets. I don't think anybody's really seen your 24 set in its entirety yet. So that's kind of cool to kind of see what that's all about and how that compares to what's available in the 2000 and 2001 sets that a lot of people are more familiar with.
Yeah, and this is motivating me to finish up my 04 set that's done in my style. Mm-hmm. It's like, if we did this every once in a while, if we just like randomly pick different lots, that would be interesting. The other thing we're doing is that 6 random lineups. So because you have the extra players, I think, was it the Greatest Showdown Project draft? Did you participate in that at all?
I did not. No, I didn't.
Okay,
I'm aware of it though. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I got the idea from them of you have 6 lineups and nobody can be in all 6 of them. I think Peter was telling me that he was petitioning for Cal Ripken to be able to be in all 6 of them, which I think would be. Since I have the AL East, I will not abuse that. I thought that would have been a cute house rule. But so no player. So if I have Barry Bonds, then I can't have him in all 6 lineups. And I think I tinkered with it and said, unless you can be in all 6, but you have to be a DH in 3 of them. Mm-hmm. So if you had 2 people who were like core to your strategy, if they alternated being DH 3 times, like they would be in all 6 of your lineups. Mm-hmm. And then if you're a catcher, you can only be the catcher in 4 of them. You can play another position in the 5th one. That was our, like, instead of doing like the weird catcher tired, that's our nod to the catchers being more susceptible to being tired. What's your thoughts on that, since I just threw these rules over the wall to you?
Yeah, so I tinkered with things a little bit, and it's gonna be hard, like to do that. Yeah. So just to clarify, the 6,000 points is your most expensive lineup is going to be what that cap is. So, your bench players are going to count at their normal reduced cost, but when they're in the starting lineup, they're the full points. So you can't just stash, a bunch of 700 point people down there, and then your starting lineup when they're in there is over 6,000. That's not going to work. So. I've tinkered with it a little bit, just like I said, I'm trying to finish up the 12-team league, so just spent less than an hour kind of looking at what was available and how things would work, and my first thing was like, okay, well, what positions in this division make sense that I can just make an easy, okay, here's my starter, here's my backup, and then from there it was like, now what do I do?
So you have claimed the AL West, I have claimed the AL East, and Night Felina has the NL East. So if you're listening to this, if they haven't been claimed, we're looking for 3 other people. You can claim either of the Centrals or the NL West, which the NL West is stacked.
Yeah.
The AL Central has the Indians, who could potentially have like the winning team by themselves.
Yeah, I would petition for, if anybody gets that one, to definitely make sure that 2025 Jose Ramirez card is in,
Well,
in your lineup.
Well, so all the 2000 Indians, like their only weak spot is Travis Fry at third base.
Yeah, there you go. So just do 2025 Jose Ramirez. The rest is the 2000 Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, and then you either get Sandy Alomar or Austin Hedges, I guess. Yeah, I mean, and you also can just like you get Bobby Witt, like you get the insane Bobby Witt. So the Central, it's interesting because there are these like North Stars, but you don't have the support underneath it that you had in a single team, because you actually have about half a set.
Right.
You're not competing with anyone for your players, but you only have about a half a set worth of cards. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
It's interesting. It's I've tinkered with it. I tried one specific type of lineup. I don't think anyone would be shocked on what type of lineup that is.
Let's hit home runs, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and you can't since I can't play both judges. I also happen to apparently be I'm the only one who can have an 11 on my team. Apparently all the 11s were the AL East.
Oh, nice.
I won't have all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I guess one question I have, but we hadn't talked about it right here, says 6 random lineups. So at the start of a game, would a dice be rolled to say this is the lineup that's going to play that game? What do you mean by 6 random lineups here?
Yeah, I don't know that it needs to rotate through.
Okay, so not a prescribed set of lineups, but you need to be okay with any one of your 6 lineups going out on any given day.
Yeah, I'll let you determine what makes the most sense. Like if each team rolls, or if there's just the two, the lineup 2s are going to play each other.
Right. Yeah, we can talk about that and figure it out. But
yeah. I mean, I don't
make sense.
I mean, I think I'm trying to figure out a way where I can start my A lineup twice intact. Mm-hmm. Where it's basically carbon copies, where it's slot 1 and slot 2 are literally the exact same. But then you're really it's really prescriptive on what you have to do to rotate through.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was having a hard time when it comes to the 6 lineups. Is okay, what happens when I don't have my A lineup? Yeah.
And then if you have someone like Cronenworth, right? Is it are you better off with him just DHing for 3 games and rotating through 3 positions? And you have and you don't really have a punt or something, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm curious what people come up with, right? The draft strategies was interesting. People had different strategies that had where mileage varied. I'm curious how this is gonna.
I've got a crazy idea for mine. I don't know if I'm gonna follow through on it as far as my offense. So we'll see. Look, it's got the 2000. There's the opportunity to have the Griffey card, the A-Rod card, and the Pudge card.
Oh, just power and speed and...
Okay, they're all at least 18 to 20 and speed A. So it's just okay. But that's also, close to 1,500 points between 3 players.
Well, so, I have the only 2 700-point players in the league. Mm-hmm. And it's how much oxygen do I want to suck out of the room there?
Right, yeah.
So it's interesting, right? And because I only get 1 Pedro, I can't downgrade him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is an interesting format. I have all the sheets. If anybody if we fill up, you guys are on the hook to run your own games, here. But if you want to get a league together of this, I'll share the charts. You guys run it however you want. But it's an interesting format. If anyone's done anything else like this, let me know. And we're going to run 6 games versus everybody, so it'll be 30 games total. Basically, you'll get a home and a home. Mm-hmm. But, so with our other leagues, it's just been, you play 4, you see everybody's 1 through 4. But it's, if I play Pedro, I could play someone who never sees him.
Right, yeah. Depends on where it is in the season, how the schedule gets randomized.
How the number, because it'll just be like 1, 2, 3, and then someone's gonna play my 4, 5, 1, and then like it could just sequence out, or someone will have to face him twice, right? So there'll be a little bit more variance in the opponents there. It'll be an interesting league. I'm kind of excited. I think we're giving ourselves about a month before kickoff to like give people enough time to like make a lineup, walk away from it, come back.
Make 6 lineups, come away from it. Yeah, exactly. Figure out what you want to do with 6 relievers and 5 starters. Like, am I going to punt a 5th starter? How many points do I want to put into that? How many relievers are going to be? In some of the divisions, do I have an option for a sub 50-point reliever just to have their blowouts? I don't know I haven't looked at all the divisions to see what options there are. So I just know with the 2001 Astros have plenty of options for here's my mop-up reliever.
The Indians also have the best punt 5th starter. Like, the Indians, actually, if all these sets were together for a draft, I think the Indians have the number 1 pick, and we have not mentioned them yet. Do you know who that is? And I'll give you a hint. It is the best punt, cheap 5th starter in this entire format.
Is it the CC card?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
If I had the number 1 pick and I had these three sets available to me, because when you draft multiple sets combined, like, you're actually just not choked out on power. Like, you have enough high-end points.
Yeah.
When you draft a single set, you're kind of like, there's not infinite 500-point players, batters. But, like, when you do multiple, it's like, oh, I need the deals. Like, who are these mechanically unique? Yep. And it's like, oh, if I get CC Sabathia, it's like, I just get to cheat.
Yeah. Is he like 10 points? Is he only 10 points?
He's 10 points.
Yeah,
that's not a misprint. That's not like the Juan Guzman.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Wild League. Yeah, if anyone wants to run their own, let me know. Glad to help facilitate that. Just drop a comment or shoot me an email. So, all right. So the other league that we're still running, we have front run this, so we're going to try not to remember ahead to the best of our ability into week 10. We're going to keep reviewing from week 9 here. But we're getting close to the playoffs. Second to last series, just wrapped up. We're going to deep dive into the pitchers and how they're performing. Here's like the win-losses and win-loss saves so far. Because the pitchers do end up matched, like the ones go against the ones, and in our other league, the ones will only face the other ones.
Right, yeah.
You just may not, every team may not run into my one. So the guys with the big wins here, like, they're beating their peers.
Yeah, so like that's what's interesting. The 6s you look here, you got a 2, you got a 4, a 1, a 3, and a 4. So as far as their place in the rotation, so for me it shows the 4s show. If you have a halfway decent 4, you can win against the other people that are kind of punting at their 4th starter.
So there are 2 4s on here. You're saying?
Yeah, Casey Mize and Brandon Pfaadt are both number 4 in their rotations.
Oh, so you don't have to spend a ton to have a significant advantage,
right? Because they're in the mid 200s, I think, as far as points go.
Yep. Yeah. Is Morton my 4 or is he my 3?
He's your 3. Burrows is your 4. Burrows is going nuts. His wins aren't necessarily there a whole lot, but his peripherals are great. His ERA and WHIP.
Yeah, so, I mean he's got 4 wins. And he's not like, he's coming out probably in the 5th or maybe the 6th if he's stretching it. Like, he's not going deep. He's not going. There are probably plenty of games that I'm winning because of him that he's not getting.
Right, he's not getting the credit exactly. Yep.
Whereas like Logan Webb is like, he's been accounted for all but one of his decisions, right? Like it's his game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's so the win losses is interesting, right? That if you can get, how much of it is like that a guy is overpointed, like, for his slot in the rotation on his team, right? So like you could have an expensive lineup and he's like the one cost-effective person in the slot.
Not a whole lot. I mean, there's some. So like Jesus Luzardo, he's number 2 for the Beavers, and he's kind of in the mid to high 400s, I believe, at points wise. So I'd say that's over costed for the typical second starter for most of the league. Their second starters are somewhere in the 350 range, I think, would be the average from what I've seen. So, but other than that, I mean, Jose Soriano is another one. He's number 2. He's in the 400. I think he's right about 400, maybe a little more than 400 points. So,
yeah, I'm wondering if somebody didn't spend like 500 on one, if they spent like 4 and 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, how much is the 2 getting in the advantage there? Obviously, like, Crochet's the best 2 in the league, but his offense isn't supporting him.
Right. Yeah. That offense is non-existent. So yeah, they're not getting the number 2 behind Tarek Skubal is 4-4, but putting up close to a Cy Young season. I think he is the Cy Young front runner at this point too, at a 4-4 record with everything else he has.
Yeah, I mean, unless Yamamoto is, we'll go into the stats. I think Yamamoto is like the only other person who could really put a claim to Skubal.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that. Okay, relievers, right? So we had talked about the big decision for me in the draft was I could upgrade a good reliever to Chapman, or I could get Junior Caminero.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody had picked Chapman last time, and it's like you don't always get a card like that. Like you could have a set where there's not, like if there's going to be one, there'll be one in a set, and there may not be a card like a 5-1 to 18. Like I think Class A got it last year. Great way to send off a career, by the way.
Yeah.
if you're gonna go out in style.
Yeah.
But so I picked Chapman. I'm gonna say mild underperformance.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this a little bit offline, but I think his opportunities to have bigger impacts haven't been there. I think just based on the luck of the dice, your team is, we've talked about this before, it's kind of hit or miss with that lineup. And if you get up big, you get down big, the time for Chapman to shine and do a little more isn't maybe there as much as some other teams that are in a lot closer games. I do think you do lead the league in like extra inning games though, so there's that. You've had your fair share of those.
Yep. I mean, as the one law, it's tough. It's just so tough at 390 or 380. It's so tough for him to overperform that contract.
Right, and I think that's what you mentioned that Chapman wasn't taken in the last draft. Is a lot of people just bullpens is where people save points, and to get high point relievers, it's just not as appealing, especially with the play time they get versus everybody else you can put 2 points towards.
Well, and our tiredness rule where I can't just throw him for 3 innings.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Back to back games, right? Like.
Right. Yeah. For me, like doing the simulations, like if I have to throw Chapman where he has to sit out 2 games, that's a non-starter. Like I just can't allow that to happen. Just because if there's a game where he needs to come in the 8th because it's 1-0, like he needs to be able to come in at that time. So.
Yeah. So Chapman is up there. Night Felina's with Bautista, I think, is overperforming.
Yeah, I think he is
mildly over. I mean, he's a good reliever, but he's pitching like a world beater here.
Yeah, he does have the 1 loss. I think he only has a walk on his chart, so as long as he gets the advantage, then he's fine. But yeah,
he's got the 3 walks, right? He's the 18 to 20 walk.
Yes, yeah, yep.
And he's a 4, so he's not. He's good. He's good, right? He's like. If you're not going to go with the 4-1 to 18, like I think it's an interesting card, right? And it's like if you end up doing a draft of this set, I think this is highlighted that's probably someone to star for an early reliever there.
Yeah, and one reliever I want to highlight here that just the kind of microcosm of the season that Aloha is having is their top 400 plus point reliever in Matt Svanson at 2-6. This guy just cannot catch a break. Like I think he's a control 4, but like it just sticks out to me how often he loses the advantage and just gets shelled.
He's a 4-1 to 18 2-inning pitch, right?
He's 2 innings as well. Mm-hmm.
He's Keith Folk.
Yeah. He's just getting shelled. It's I just feel bad for Aloha with how bad.
Well, and it's like, is it tougher to swallow because he's not 2 different 1 and 3 guys?
Mm-hmm.
If he was 2, or like a 2-1 guy and an 0-5 guy, right? Like,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
The fact that they're glued together. He's pitching twice as many innings, and again, the guy's a horse. He's basically a 5th starter, divided up. A lot of 2-inning. Vassal's a 2-inning pitch guy on here, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You get the 2-inning pitch. They're pretty critical for what we're doing. We'll deep dive here into
rules,
we'll deep dive into the sub metrics here a little bit, but it's interesting to look at the high level, the results stuff. Not that this tells the whole story. Okay, so ERA, you got this is a little bit skewed based on like the guys that their team doesn't require as much from them, like where they have bullpen support. It like kind of saves them like a quarter of a run in ERA or so. Would you say?
I'd say that's if you can pull the trigger on pulling somebody out a little earlier versus having a bad bullpen or less reliable, I think we've talked about it before. Keeping these starters in an extra inning, it feels like almost every single time they're going to allow a run. For it's just the luck of the draw. It could even be a 5 control guy dropping down to a 4, and it still has an impact a lot of times.
Yeah, I mean, so you got Brian Wu with a sub-1 WHIP and not even in the top 15 in ERA, but he's got that 20 on his chart.
Right. Yeah, he lost a home run.
Yeah, and there's some bad luck that can run. If you duck it right, you get a great rest of the chart if you can stomach that 20 with him. Obviously,
yeah, but a couple guys on and then they roll a 20. Yeah, that just destroys the ERA.
Yeah, well, if you're in the top 10 in innings pitched, it's a lot of rolls for that 20 to be getting ever closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Yamamoto's got leading it. That Evaldi chart with just the crazy ground ball.
Yeah, that plays into the league a lot.
So I was looking around. It's like other people benefit a little bit, but like for some reason he like just seems to like the bot loves him.
Oh yeah. He's having a great year.
So the 5 1-16 like isn't a custom, but it's like that's like the Brett Saberhagen, just kind of like that in between tier for like a guy who had a good season before didn't. Like a better than just a good season, but didn't fit in the top 10 ERA. So he's a monster, and he can just get himself out of trouble if you can trap people at first base, which is I think that's what Aloha's doing, right? Like
yeah, yep.
And then you have a double digit infield because it's the 2025 set.
Yeah,
like you're just like he's just gonna mow guys down, and with the 5 control, like he's not giving the advantage up a ton.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, he's doing really well. That card is really performing.
I don't know why, but I've always had success with Charlie Morton.
Yeah, Charlie Morton. Well, the two that stand out on this list a lot are Charlie Morton and Jack Leiter. They're just like Jack Leiter's your typical 3. He's a 1-16, I think. This year 3 1-16 5-inning pitched. Just going through it.
Well, Morton's like objectively worse than Schlittler. Like there's no real opinion of it. I think he's just like strictly worse.
Yeah, and Schlittler would be on the top of this list if it was in reverse, I think. So.
Yeah, I think he has half the ERA.
Yeah.
But these ERAs are coming in like I think this is where I want them, right? Like this is kind of right.
Yeah, it does. It feels right. It feels good. The players that are at the top of the list here make sense for how much they cost and what their charts look like. Yeah,
and I would say Crochet, like I think everybody with the tougher bullpens that get a quarter of a run, I think Crochet gets like a half a run of extra responsibility, it feels like.
Yep. Yeah.
It feels like he would be a 3 like if he had to pitch like 6 innings, 5-6 innings less or like 1 less inning every other series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the whip numbers the whip numbers feel good. To me as well, like a couple guys below 1, and then everyone else kind of hovering. I think it probably floats a little bit closer to like the 1-3 on the league.
Right. Yeah. If you have the higher skewed guys that have just fallen off a cliff, kind of bringing that average up. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like again, probably there's no errors. There's a couple of things that are probably going to skew that a little bit higher.
Yeah. Yeah. The no errors is going to be big.
Yeah. Anybody here? Like, I mean, you're seeing guys who are like have these low whips, but then they're getting, I guess they're just giving up big damage.
Yeah, I mean, you can look on here and just see the number of people that have 20s on their chart. Brian Wu, Max Scherzer, Seth Lugo. Those are all, they give up home runs, but otherwise their charts are good.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess so. What if you're a 1-15 out? You're basically you're like a 1-2-5 whip. Without giving up the advantage at all, right?
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if you're Logan Webb, like you're just not playing the whip game.
Yeah.
Like you're like pitching your way out of trouble. Whereas you get the Crochets, right, where it's like he probably just mows down, like probably has like 3 1-2-3 innings a game.
Right. Yeah, he's number 2 in the league in strikeouts. He's got a 3 to 10 strikeout, I think, something like that. So
how bad does it hurt for him if he lets like the 8 and 9 guys get on?
Oh, yeah, that's bad, because the top of these lineups, almost every team, the top of their lineups are just brutal. 9s and 10s and good charts. And, yeah, you see it a lot with some of the weaker bullpen arms, the guys that have 1 or 2 controls, and you bring them in to take care of the bottom of the lineup, and then the number 8 and 9 get on, and you're just like, oh, crap, now what?
Now it's like you're set up horribly. It's interesting, because when you're watching a baseball game, it doesn't appear that way, right? Like it's not that stripped down, but it's like in Showdown, it's like, oh, like I need these outs.
Right.
It's like, or if I can start the next inning off with the 9-hitter, like that changes strategy a lot. Like that's, because they got these type of guys, like they got speed guys, and if they start with an out, then it limits their permutations there a little bit.
Right, and you don't have, I mean, it feels like some days in the major leagues you have infinite bullpen arms, where you're just like, oh, okay, well, this guy pitched to there's 3 batters, so let's just bring somebody else in. And in our setup, it's just like, do I burn him? Because he's burned if I use them. And I've got to really think about in the next game how to use them. So, yeah.
I am curious with our other leagues. Our other league is mandatory 6 arms. So I'm curious how much pressure that takes off.
Yeah.
And I was kind of kicking around because we have the extra innings, the extra innings rule kind of if you do that, it suspends the.
That helps a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it suspends the multiple innings thing.
Yeah. I'm just curious if people are going to go down the route of just getting the 4 cheapest relievers they have available, and then that creates another problem.
I think you can get 2. I think you can get 2 cheap relievers.
Yeah, I think it can go 2, but I'm curious to see how many people go more than 2, and then that creates issues like Claude's bullpen they have with all the 0s and 1s.
Yeah.
So.
And then innings pitched here, these, basically everyone in our league, is being pressured to pitch as much as, every inning you can get out of your starter is, gold.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
These are all the high control guys, right? The guys being stretched are 4s, 5s, and 6s.
Except for Crochet, yeah.
Yeah, well, Crochet, who's...
Well, he's a 7 inning anyways, but he's a 3, and he routinely has to go 8 just because of only having 3 relievers on their team and having a 0 control guy at number 4 starter. So.
Yeah, well, and it's for him, it's okay, if he starts the 8th on the 5-6 batter, you probably feel good, but if you start on the 9th batter, you're probably
then you're okay.
It's if I don't get the 9 guy out, I'm in huge trouble.
Yeah, and then so you put a bullpen arm out there and say, okay, well, hopefully Scherzer can go 7 tomorrow, or 8. So yeah.
Yep. So this interesting pushing the innings up there a little bit. All right, some of the kind of sub metrics here a little bit. I mean, Scooble's just kind of running away with it just because he's pitching a ton and he's got a good strikeouts for the strikeout title. I guess we don't. Dylan Cease isn't in this league, right?
No.
Nobody's really got the appetite for the high pointed, low control guys.
No, yeah, it's all high control. You can see here, almost everybody on this list is 5s or 6s, and some 4 sprinkled in.
Yeah, just guys who pitch in a ton of innings at this point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of the function of the league. That's I do like single team. If you just play the 2025 Padres, you're throwing Cease out there, right? That's who you have. So it's interesting if you play those teams against each other's stats. But yeah, I don't think there's much of a story here, except for the guys who are striking out or kind of saving themselves some runs if they show up at the right time.
Yeah, and it's the opposite for the walks on the next column. There's the guys pitching more innings. I don't know what's going on. Let's show Tiny on here. That's probably supposed to be
probably
Trevor Rogers, or I don't know.
Yeah,
or Schlittler probably.
I think I just missed him.
Yeah. My bad. Yeah. That's Schlittler. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you get tale of 2 stories. You get a guy who's walking a ton and it's keeping damage from happening, and a guy who walks are the problem.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's you don't want to be. I mean, if you're walking guys and giving up hits, it's well, it just sounds like you're not pitching very well.
Yeah.
And so Schlittler's a fun story because he's a 3, right? So it's but he has the double walk and he doesn't have a double.
Right.
So it's there's a story. There's a series of events here where he'll get some guys on, but he'll get out and the runs won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is the story where it's oh, this is just going nuclear.
Right. You walk a couple guys, and then with your 3, you're losing the advantage to the heart of the lineup. Yeah.
Yeah, now you're in trouble. So it's fun to see this play out here. A lot of. I mean, Kate Povich is also walking a ton of guys and also just giving up the advantage a ton.
Yep.
So it's interesting to kind of you can almost bucket these guys as well, some of these guys are just bad. And some of these guys are actually an asset. And if you pull it out, it's like, oh, if I draft again and if I get Yamamoto, I don't actually need to be as concerned with the catcher, right? Like if I get a bunch of guys like Yamamoto, if I get, because you can't obviously get 4 of those, studs, right? But him, and then I can get Morton, I can get Hauser. It's like there's a rotation I can put together here that could be effective if I want to get Will Smith or Cal Raleigh.
Right. Yeah, you can. Yeah, steal the base and just gonna walk the guy behind him and get a double play. All right.
Yeah, we'll get a double play. Yeah, not a problem there. Yeah, then the homers here are probably a little bit of guys who aren't pitching. Some of these guys just aren't pitching a ton, so they're not running the risk, right? Some guys are lucky, and then the high control. Not as many high control guys as I would think. Yeah. I guess they're being stretched. Is that the story?
Yeah, they're being stretched. Yeah, to save the bullpens, and here, like you said before, these are a lot of 5-inning guys in here. Just the lesser innings contributes to that.
Yeah, so it's lesser innings, and maybe they're like, the teams that are doing well, or they just have the bullpen support where they're not being forced out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting there. Okay, going over to the relievers here. Feels like the reliever ERAs are, I would expect more in the ones. That's
relievers are getting blown up for some reason. Outside of mine, I don't know why I have 3 in the top 5, but there's nothing special about those guys. They're just kind of generic relievers. But yeah, it seems like when the bullpens come in, things really go sideways.
Yeah, well, because most of them aren't being stretched a ton, right? Like,
no, they're not being stretched much. But I think a lot of the relievers in the league they're not high control either, and we have a lot of teams that are running, 3-4 deep 10s in the middle of our lineups. If you've got relievers that are 3 control, they're giving up the advantage a lot.
Well, if you do a time lapse of the reliever draft, it's like so I just sort my sheets either by on base or control, like when I'm looking at them, and then by points. And it's like you can just see like who's the cheapest person at each control slot, and then you just see it like tick up. Like it's just like we're just gonna climb the ladder.
Yes.
Like, Grant Wolfram is in this league, isn't he?
He is. Yeah.
He's He's like a 1 to 13 out.
Yeah, he walks at 14. Yes, he does.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, like 70 points here. It's like, okay, it's good to have that lesson out there for one person to learn every time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, okay, like at some point it's okay to actually just throw like a 1 to 16 out there.
Right. Yeah. 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 And that's why I said that's what a lot of the like Vargas, Santillan, and De Los Santos on my team. They're like 1 to 16 or 4, and they're doing okay. Yeah.
Have they just not been put in bad positions where they have to?
For the most part, they're doing. I mean, I've been using De Los Santos, piggybacking him with who else? As I don't have like a set closer that I use at all for my team, and he's been sharing the time there. Just whoever comes, I think it's Jacob Junis. That's who I have. He's a 5 control. Just depending on where they're at in the lineup, use who makes sense at the time, and go from there.
Yeah, so that's the thing about Showdown too. Is like if I'm up like 3-1, and I'm going to the 8th inning versus like a 2, 3, 4 of an order, like it's very clear that like I should throw Chapman out right now.
Right. Yeah.
That's the one thing that's like, the Saber metrics people would be like, saves is like closer is the only thing where like managers manage to a stat.
Yeah. Yep.
Where it's like, oh, this is clearly should be done a different way.
Yeah. One person on here, the Yennier Cano, he's a control 1 with a low ERA. I've been able to navigate Knight Fleena's bullpen in order to put him in the most low pressure situations possible for the most part. So I try to do that with like John Schreiber with Claude. I think he's also a 1. There's situations where you can try to do your best to get those guys at the bottom of the lineup. Doesn't always work out, but
so not a lot of 2-inning pitched guys, right? Are they just they just bearing such a burden. I mean, Vassell,
they're building the burden, yeah.
I mean, most of them are basically like, you're dissolving the responsibility of the whole the starting staff.
Right, yeah. For a lot of cases, the 2-inning guys, they're not great charts, great. I mean, like innings pitch, you go over there. Spencer Bivens is a good example. Mitch Spence is another one. They're just kind of 2-inning guys. And okay, the game is getting out of control. Let me see if I can take the starter out in the fifth, or early and eat some innings here, and see what happens.
Yeah, the innings pitch is a super interesting story. It's 2-inning pitch and 6 controls. Like that's what that's what it is over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whip. Kind of skewing a little bit lower. You just get better charts with the relievers. It's funny that the whip's lower, but the ERAs are kind of like inflated a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because it's not like people are pinch hitting, or I mean, I guess maybe they're like more apt to. There's not a ton of bunting in our league, right? Like
no, I'm not a. When I do my simulations, I'm not a huge bunter. Like, I kind of set house rules for myself when it comes to, like, sack bunting. When it comes to, like, okay, would this person in real life sack bunt in this situation? I'm like, Aaron Judge isn't ever going to sack bunt. So if he's up in a situation to move a runner over, like, it's just not going to happen. So, but, like, Alex Verdugo, his chart doesn't lend himself to, like, yeah, he could sack bunt and move somebody over if the situation called for it,
Yeah, so this stuff's interesting where you can kind of go through and look at, like, the bullpen is really a unit.
Mm-hmm. That's a better way to look at it. Exactly. Yeah.
It's like these guys need to accomplish this, right? And you almost need to determine ahead of time. It's either like I'm going to put a lot of pressure on my bullpen, and I'm either going to put pressure on them and like they're going to be well resourced or they aren't, or I'm going to put low pressure on them, and they're going to be lesser resourced. They're going to maybe have one good guy, but I know I can pull back a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and then, okay, a little bit of the metrics here. These counting set, a lot of these are just guys who are pitching a ton.
Yeah, counting stat-wise for relievers, yeah. We don't have too many relievers that have home runs on their charts, but it's not surprising Jordan Leisure, he does have a home run on his chart, that he's leading the league in home runs allowed for relievers.
For our league-leading Claude, I am curious if the bullpen doesn't bite Claude here.
Just blow up here at the end of the season. It's gotta, because that bullpen's just not. There's nobody. You got Pierce Johnson, and then it's a bunch of zeros and ones, and it's just they've been vastly overperforming.
Yeah, I mean, you just got some guys who are just not. I mean, well, Svanson's the interesting one for me, right? Is he just having to pitch like 3 innings all the time, or is
no, he's just getting blown up.
Interesting, yeah. Yeah,
I'm just unlucky. He's probably the most unlucky, outside of Schlittler, definitely the most unlucky reliever in the league, with losing the advantage of just getting killed.
Yeah, I mean, because he's basically the same points as Chapman, and if I was getting this type of production out of Chapman, like I wouldn't be in the playoffs.
Right? Yeah.
It's like that's killer. And Aloha, like, where's Aloha? Aloha's in looking, trying to sure things up, right?
Aloha's out of it. Yeah.
No, never mind. I lied.
Yeah. No, okay, they're the ones with no lineup of them and French guys. They put all their money into their starting pitching. Yeah.
So that's probably 3 wins, right? 2 or 3 wins, you would say?
I would say, yeah.
If he produced the same as he's the same points as Chapman.
Right. Yeah. You're looking at probably into the Legion funnel cakes area of the standings right now.
It's like, okay, like if we go on a heater here, we're at least still alive at this point.
Yeah.
And then fringe guys, we've said like it's really like George Springer and a couple of the other, like George Springer's kind of the poster boy for the problem.
Right. Yeah. Just underperforming at 11.
And at 500 points, right? Like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, and we're trying not to remember ahead that normalizes a little bit, but and this is a small sample size, right? You can't like anybody. You again, if I get that production out of Chapman from Svanson, like that Svanson's putting up, like I wouldn't have work to do to get into the playoffs at this point.
Right. Yeah.
If he had 3-4 losses as opposed to 1.
Yeah.
Any insights? You're playing these games. You're seeing a good bit of sample size. Anything that you want to dig into that you think is like particularly interesting, or like that you would change in a similar league with similar rules?
I'd say the biggest thing that I'm seeing, the teams with the better bullpen performance are the teams that are generally performing better. We can see with like Aloha and Fringe guys at the bottom of the standings, they have 1,200 points or so put into their top 3 starters, and it's just not producing results because you have to scrimp otherwise. So I think relievers and really, your offense rules today, it seems, more than spending tons of points on your top tier pitchers. Because at the end of the day, you still have to roll the dice, and 16 through 20 comes up a lot, and so people are still going to get on base.
Yeah, it's still out there. So that's interesting. It's like, is there a way to construct a lineup that can support a 3-horse 4-man rotation?
Yeah, because I think one of them, they're 6 through 9 or even 5 through 9 are all on base of 6 or less. So that offense is just reliant on your 1 through 4, because it's basically you're not getting anything from 5 through 9. So,
well, and if you're fringe guys, Crochet doesn't get to play them.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's the like if you're it's like, okay, there are certain types of guys who you would err towards.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, this has been wild. I know we got we're gonna basically next week we're just gonna do the same thing for week 10. See how it push forward, and then we'll do the pitchers after that. Very excited there. Who do you think takes Claude down? Who's our John Connor?
I'm not sure. I think Claude is playing. This is week 9. Yeah. So sorry, I'm thinking ahead as far as the simulation's ahead of where we're at here.
Well, in the playoffs,
in the
right?
playoffs.
So,
I think they go out round 1. I think the first game. I think the first series. I think they're, like you said, they're due to just their pitching is just not good.
Yeah, that's who we're rooting for. So we're all rooting against Claude. We'll get you guys the matchups there. All right.
Yeah.
Enjoy the All-Star game, everybody. This has been This Week in Showdown.